going for a run. I need to get healthier. This is my commitment to myself. It's such a silly reason to not lose weight. The stuff I talked about in the last video. I want to lose weight because I love being healthy. I love being thin. I love being fit. I love being active. I'm in St. Cloud, Minnesota. I've been visiting cloud places. I'm on a river walk. This tiny little river that almost looks like a stream is the Mississippi River. It makes me think of the Indigo Girls song. Well, the Mississippi's mighty, but it starts in Minnesota. At a point where you can walk across 5 steps wide. Something like that. This is overgrowth, so you can't really see, but I can tell that this little chunk of the Mississippi is like as small as any river you've ever seen. Can you kind of see it? Oh, love this river. I've felt connected to this river ever since I was a kid and first came to Minnesota. I don't remember. Maybe it was when I was 16. First crossing into the boundary waters when I became a born again. Which then I unborned, if that's even a possible thing. This isn't really where the Mississippi starts. I'd have to go up to, like, I think it's called like Itasca State Park. Probably another 2 hours north and a little bit west. Ah, it's stunning. I'll bet this is really cool in the winter too, because you would see through the trees. It's not what I expected. I brought the bear here just because me and Brian made some jokes before I left Michigan about posing Barrington, at funny spots on my Solitoury. That's just a made-up thing I call this. But this river walk is very pretty, but also you can't see much. I'm mostly just seeing buildings, which are pretty buildings. I love colleges, college campuses. I feel this calling and this pull to teach at a college someday, but I don't know what I would teach. And I do this thing where I get kind of obsessed with figuring it out. Whoa, look at that little chute. It's like a water runoff chute. So there's no way to walk down to the Mississippi from this spot. Well, I guess I'll go back. So, I guess I'll show you the buildings this time. I'm parked at a spot that says I can only park for 15 minutes. This looks like an art class. With a kiln schedule. Oh, I think I just walked in dog poop. That's exciting. Thanks, St. Cloud University. No, St. Cloud State University. Yeah, because that's what you should think about, is whether you said the college name correctly right after you just walked in dog poop. Yeah. Wow. I really like this river. It feels like something to me. I don't know what. Feels happy. Or unafraid, or unapologetic. I just kind of can't believe that it runs all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. That's kind of mind-bending. Makes me think of Mark Twain, and I don't know. Ugh. Can't even imagine. What a world. I live in a very big country that this pandemic has made me realize is definitely 50 small countries. But I mean, we call them states, but it's because we can move between them interchangeably, which is amazing. But seeing all the different regulations and all the different approaches to solutions, to government, to everything, it's like, oh, what a world. And it really helps me understand why I feel off in Michigan. It's like having a part of your soul saying to you for about 5 years now, like, hey hon, time to move on. Like, Michigan was a huge, or is a huge part of my life. But if you stay past the point where you feel like you were supposed to stay, oh, here, I'll show you dorms. then you end up in this weird love-hate thing. I think I've done that my whole life with relationships too. I think I'm gonna go up this way. Bye, Riverwalk. No, I'll just stay on the Riverwalk and then I'll drive. Anyway, it's only 8 a.m. I was thinking, wow, what a quiet college, and then I realized people started pulling up, and I was like, oh, I got here at like 7:30 in the morning. I really like college campuses. I know they're expensive. I know colleges are expensive. I know it's a privilege thing. I know, but it's like I had a really good college experience from an academic perspective. From a social perspective, it was a little confusing because I started drinking and I definitely couldn't quite find my people. I was in a sorority just because there was social stuff and my friends were doing it, and I don't know. And I didn't really fit in with the conservatory kids very well. They practiced literally 5 hours a day, and I was lucky if I did 1 hour every third day, maybe. I had a very hard time with that. Oh, their mascot's the husky. So, wow. What am I saying? I guess what I'm feeling a shift in my heart that says the thing I've never wanted to do, which is do like a blind search across the whole country, and not even sure if I would apply to be like an accompanist or apply to probably an accompanist. I mean, if I look where my strengths are, I've nailed being an accompanist. It's just the 10-hour days that the high school was doing was too insane, but like a college wouldn't make me play for 5 hours in the morning and then have a gap and then play for 4 hours at night during the musical. It's like, I almost applied for an accompanist job in Pittsburgh right after I got a divorce. And my friend David lived there, and there was an opening for an accompanist at Point Park. I think that's what the college is called, Point Park University. And I didn't apply. And in hindsight, I remember feeling like I should, and then I didn't. And I might have lived a very different life. So I think I was either too fearful, too deer in headlights. Like, I knew I didn't want to stay in Norton Shores, Michigan at that high school after leaving my ex. I was very, very lost and kind of frozen. But I remember when that position came available, I think it was the summer of 2013, and yeah, I didn't apply. And I honestly don't know why. So maybe something in my heart knew that 4 months later I would meet a really great guy. So now that's why my life's all about clouds. In the Clouds is our house, Cloud Light is our band. I mean, I was already Jessica in the Rainbow at that point, but I don't think I needed clouds by myself. But, I mean, who knows? I don't know what I think about quantum physics and quantum theory and all of that. Okay, let's read this. The Great Mississippi River's natural beauty has inspired and influenced the course of SCSU, St. Cloud State University, SCSU's history. Even the university hymn, penned by Amy Dale and Harvey Waugh, recognized that by the river's flowing waters, by its islands fair, may the loyal sons and daughters thy enduring friendship share. I don't know, sometimes you just feel pulled to things. I'm here very illogically right now. My whole trip is illogical. I came to see family, but then I stayed an extra week to babysit nieces and nephews while my brother and sister-in-law took my oldest nephew off to college, and they had kids very young. So I'm sort of aging myself, dating myself, but I'm also just that's just a fact of my life. I don't have any kids. If I did, they'd be very young, because I'm definitely not like them. Like, they got out of college, got the job, got the house, started having kids. Like, I have not done life that way. So anyway, I have 7 nieces and nephews, and the oldest one is 18 and just went off to Ohio State, and I just put that together that, like, right when he went off, I'm now reflecting on college life. Alright, I'm gonna do one more thing. This little building is really cute. Just gonna look, because I just noticed there's a spot where I can see the Mississippi without the overgrowth, but it kind of looks like someone's private property. I just can't get over the fact that that's the Mississippi. Yeah, so this is definitely someone's private property. But how cool just to see it. Alright, lots of mosquitoes and flies and stuff. I'm gonna go. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. I realized recently that I have very few dreams. Very few things I want to do with my life. The main one being, or the only one really being, that I want to write albums and release them. And the only real shift I felt these last 2 weeks on my Solitoury is that I want to do them to the best of my ability. I don't want to do any more challenges that prove something to the universe in terms of speed or efficiency, like a song every day for a year or an album every month for a year. I don't want to try to prove my type A-ness anymore. Like, yes, I can do that. I can meet deadlines and impress people with my flashy piano skills or my quick ability to translate music theory in my mind in order to, write a song every day. But as writing it, hearing the chords in my head and playing them immediately, like, I just really enjoyed feeling like nobody knew I could do that. I knew I could do that because I had all these private recordings back like 6-8 years, hundreds every year, and I just had wanted the people around me to know that that's who I was. I don't even know if it was a show-off thing. At first it was more of a, you guys don't actually know who I am thing. Like, I felt like I'm writing hundreds of songs a year, but meanwhile, because I was only sharing an album every 5 years, people kept looking at me like, what are you doing with your life and what are you going to do with your life? And I'm like, dude, I'm like very active and very happy in my creative world. And because nobody could see it and they couldn't share in it and they didn't know I was doing it, they kept thinking I needed to change paths. Because to them, the one album every 5 years was like not impressive enough or not substantial enough to justify the lifestyle or the choices I was making with my resume that I have. And so I was like, I think that's what's been happening the last few years. It's like I needed people to see who I really am, which is someone who writes all the time and talks and feels and thinks all the time. And then once I saw who I really am, I kind of almost knew in advance that I'd want to go back into hiding somewhat. Like, it's not sustainable or even natural feeling to just do all this like out loud all the time. It feels kind of weird. There, I put you on my windshield wiper. I'm not sure if that's yeah, that doesn't really work, but I guess you could look at the sky. Anyway, my point is, thank you for watching, if you get something out of watching these. St. Cloud University is very cool. Nah! Tried to squeeze the... Okay, this isn't working. Anyway, maybe I'll real quick write a song. Oops. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Feeling the key of C. I have on a bracelet, 2 bracelets. One's by my niece, Brooklyn. She lives in Colorado. And this one's by my... me and Brian are in love enough. I guess I'll call his nephew my nephew. My nephew, Josiah. Hi, Brooklyn. Hi, Josiah. I don't have anything on from Alice or JT, who I was spending the most time this weekend. But I have a origami heart of $6 in my wallet from my nephew, Nick. He's the one who patted me on the head the other day during a YouTube video. I'm assuming I'll post these sequentially, so if so, that's the one that was written at the dining room table on the little Casio. There's a lot of bugs here. I wonder if that's a Mississippi River thing. It's late August. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I've just been spoiled where I live. Michigan is very beautiful. I don't want to move away from Michigan for anything related to the beauty. I don't want to move away from Michigan anything related to even like the politics or even like the clash that I feel sometimes between liberals and Christians there. And that shouldn't be an opposite thing, but it seems to be there more so than other places I've lived. I've known a lot of Christians who have very progressive views in my life, so I feel a little bit more of a clash in West Michigan than anywhere I've lived. don't know. There's something about it that's not what I'm supposed to be doing with my life, and I have not figured out why, and I will not leave it just to leave it, because there is a big part of my heart there and a big part of my past and my life there. But every time I go away, I feel like there's something I'm supposed to be figuring out, and it feels like there's this God sense that I'm supposed to follow something. I just don't know what, and I don't know when, and I don't know where. And so until I know, I'm gonna stay put. So, you know, hey universe, if you want to guide me to this thing you keep telling me is where I'm being guided to, feel free to let me know what that is. I think it's applying to colleges, to teach at colleges. It's the only thing I can think it would be. I think it might have a little bit to do with living closer to my nieces and nephews, because most of them are still pretty young. Like I said, one went off to college, but the other 6 are still pretty young. And there's a huge part of my heart that would love to live near them for part of their lives. Part of their young lives. Mosquito. I don't know where I don't know where I am, or why I want to be. Whew. Mosquito life. Somewhere new, and not just new in this moment, but good morning. New in this timeline, but like new to my soul and heart somehow. And time will be kind, like it's always been, or like I've learned to believe it's been, even if most my life's been hard, maybe a little harder than I thought I would want. So let me see you, let me be you, let me be with you. 'Cause I don't know if I go this way again. Let me take you, I won't break you, I will hold you like a friend, and I will be your compass if your compass is broken. And if you need to know that you need to grow, if you don't see how you're sinking in this
place I will find a way to make you feel okay. But I am glad you learned to say that you won't get in the way of where I need to fly. 'Cause I don't know where I need to fly. I'm just following light, following light.
Like 3 different people waved at me. One seemed like a teacher. One was like a student maybe. And that looked like a maintenance guy with St. Cloud State University on his van. Good feelings. It smells really good here. The air's really fresh. Hi, Minnesota. I love you, Minnesota. Thanks, Minnesota, for the way that you change my songs. I will see you later. Bye.